What if I told you that most people will work for 40 years and still retire broke? It's a painful reality, but it's happening every single day. The truth is, money doesn't care about how hard you work. It doesn't reward effort, it rewards strategy. And the reason most people struggle financially isn't because they don't earn enough. It's because they ignore the brutal truths about money. Here's the problem. Schools don't teach us how money really works. So, people go through life making the same financial mistakes over and over again, wasting years trying to figure it out, while the rich keep getting richer. But today, we're breaking that cycle. In this video, I'll reveal 3 harsh truths about money that most people ignore, but the wealthy understand deeply. By the end, you'll see exactly what separates the rich from the broke, and what you need to start doing today to be on the winning side. So if you're ready to face the truth and take control of your financial future, let's get into it. Most people don't want to talk about money. It's uncomfortable, it's stressful, and for a lot of people, it's a topic they'd rather avoid altogether. But here's the thing, ignoring money problems doesn't make them go away. In fact, it only makes things worse. The longer you ignore how money actually works, the harder it becomes to fix your financial situation. And that's exactly why so many people find themselves stuck, working paycheck to paycheck, drowning in debt, and feeling like there's no way out. But let me tell you something that wealthy people understand. Money follows rules. It doesn't care about your feelings, your excuses, or how hard you work. If you don't follow the rules of money, you'll always struggle, no matter how much you earn. And that's the problem. Schools don't teach these rules. Most parents don't pass them down. And as a result, millions of people go through life completely blind to the financial traps that keep them broke. But today, that changes. In this video, I'm going to share 3 harsh money truths that most people ignore, but the wealthy follow religiously. These are the truths that separate financial freedom from financial struggle, and by the end of this video, you'll know exactly how to start applying them to your own life. So let's get into the first truth. Because once you understand this, your entire mindset about money will change forever. Let's start with the first harsh truth about money. It's not about how much you earn, it's about how much you keep. Most people believe that if they could just make more money, all their financial problems would disappear. But that's not true. If you don't know how to manage your money, it doesn't matter how much you make. You'll always struggle. Think about it. How many times have you heard of lottery winners going broke? They win millions of dollars. Yet within a few years, they're dead broke, drowning in debt, or worse. The same thing happens to athletes, celebrities, and even high-income professionals. Why? Because they never learned how to keep and grow their money. On the flip side, there are people who never made 6 figures but still retire wealthy. Why? Because they kept more than they spent, invested wisely, and let time do the work. Let me give you a real example. Meet John and Lisa. Both make $80,000 per year, but here's where things go differently. John spends everything he makes. New car, luxury vacations, latest gadgets, believing that making more money means he can afford more. At the end of the year, he has nothing saved. Lisa, on the other hand, follows a different path. She lives below her means, invests 20% of her income, and builds assets. In just 10 years, she has a 6-figure investment portfolio, while John is still stuck living paycheck to paycheck. See the difference? John thinks wealth comes from earning more. Lisa understands that wealth comes from keeping more and making that money work for her. So, how do you start applying this today? Follow the golden rule of money management. Spend less than you earn. Save and invest the difference. Let time and smart investments do the rest. Because at the end of the day, making more money won't fix your financial problems. Learning to keep and grow your money will. Now let's move on to the second harsh truth. Because even if you save money, there's something secretly eating away at it every single day. Alright, so even if you're saving money, here's the second harsh truth most people ignore. Inflation is silently stealing from you every single day. Most people think that if they put money in a savings account, they're being smart with their finances. But in reality, your savings are losing value every single year. Let me explain. Imagine you had $10,000 in your bank account in the year 2000. Back then, that money could buy a used car or cover your rent for months. But fast forward to today, and that same $10,000 barely covers a few months of rent in most cities. Why? Because of inflation. Think of inflation like a slow leak in your wallet. Every year, the cost of living rises. But if your money isn't growing at the same rate, it's like pouring water into a bucket with a hole in it. You're losing wealth without even realizing it. And this isn't just a theory. Here's the data. Over the past 30 years, inflation has averaged around 2 to 3% per year. In some years, like 2021 to 2022, inflation hit 7 to 9%, making your money lose value even faster. That means if you're just saving money in a traditional bank account, earning 0.5% interest, you're actually losing money every year. So, what's the solution? It's simple. Your money needs to grow faster than inflation, and the only way to do that is through investing. Let's break it down. If inflation averages 3% per year, that means your money must grow by at least 3% just to maintain its value. But to actually build wealth, you need to aim for 7% to 10% growth per year or more. Here's how the wealthy protect themselves from inflation. They invest in assets that increase in value: stocks, real estate, and businesses. They avoid keeping too much cash, only enough for emergencies while the rest is invested. They understand that saving alone is not enough. Money must be working, not sitting. Think of it like this. If your money isn't earning more than inflation, you're basically paying an invisible tax on everything you own. So, if you're still keeping all your money in a basic savings account, it's time to make a change. Start looking into index funds, real estate, and other investments that actually protect and grow your money over time. And that brings us to the third and final harsh truth. Because even if you earn well and invest wisely, there's one thing keeping most people from ever becoming truly rich. All right, we've talked about keeping more of your money and fighting inflation, but even if you do those things, there's one harsh truth that keeps most people from ever becoming truly wealthy, and that's this: your job will never make you rich. If you're relying on a salary alone, you'll always be stuck in the cycle of working just to survive. Now, don't get me wrong, having a job is important. It pays the bills, it puts food on the table, but a job alone won't build wealth. And here's why. Your salary is capped. No matter how hard you work, your income is limited to what your employer is willing to pay you. You're trading time for money. If you stop working, your income stops too. You'll never be free if you always have to clock in to get paid. Inflation eats away at your paycheck. Even if you get a raise, if it's not keeping up with inflation, you're actually falling behind. Now, compare this to how the wealthy make money. They don't just work for money, they make their money work for them. So, if your job won't make you rich, what will? Investing. That's the only way to build real wealth, by owning things that grow in value over time. The wealthy follow a simple formula. They use their job income to buy assets: stocks, real estate, businesses. Those assets generate passive income: dividends, rental income, capital gains. Over time, their assets make more money than their job ever could. Let's look at two people. Mark works hard, earns $70,000 per year, but never invests. He spends what he earns and saves only a little. After 20 years, he's still working, still relying on his paycheck. Sarah earns the same $70,000 per year, but invests 20% of her income. After 20 years, she's built an investment portfolio worth over $500,000, generating passive income, meaning she could retire if she wanted to. See the difference? Mark is stuck in the cycle of working for money. But Sarah built a system where money works for her, even when she sleeps. That's the difference between working for money versus making money work for you. So, the question is, which side do you want to be on? If you want to be on the wealthy side, you need to start investing no matter how small, because the sooner you start, the sooner your money starts working for you. And now, let's talk about what happens when you ignore these three money truths, because the difference between those who apply them and those who don't is life-changing. Now that we've covered the three harsh truths about money, let's take a step back and look at what happens when people ignore them versus when they apply them. Meet David and Michael. They both started at the same point in life, earning the same salary, living in the same city. But 20 years later, their financial lives look completely different. David ignored these money truths. He thought earning more money was the key to success. Every time he got a raise, he spent more instead of saving and investing. He kept all his money in a regular savings account, where inflation slowly ate away at its value. He worked long hours, believing his job would eventually make him rich. At age 50, he's still living paycheck to paycheck. No investments, no passive income, no financial security. Michael applied these money truths. He understood that it's not about how much you earn, it's about how much you keep. He invested consistently, letting compound interest work its magic. He protected his money from inflation by investing in assets like stocks and real estate. He built multiple income streams, so his money worked for him even when he wasn't working. At age 50, he has financial freedom. He doesn't have to work unless he wants to. His investments generate passive income, and he's free to live life on his terms. Two people, Same starting point, completely different outcomes, and the difference? One followed these rules, the other ignored them. Now, you have two options. You can keep ignoring these truths and struggle with money forever, or you can start applying them today and take control of your financial future. Which will you choose? So let's quickly recap the 3 harsh truths about money that most people ignore, but the wealthy understand deeply. Truth number 1, it's not about how much you earn, it's about how much you keep. Truth number 2, inflation is silently stealing from you every single year. Truth number 3, your job will never make you rich. Investing is the only way. If you only take one thing from this video, let it be this: money follows rules. It doesn't care how hard you work, what your background is, or how much you want financial freedom. If you don't follow the rules, you'll always struggle. But if you do, your financial future will look completely different. The choice is yours. Will you keep doing what you've always done, or will you start making real financial moves today? And if you're ready to start taking control of your money, let me show you how to actually start building wealth, even if you only have $10 to invest. Now that you know the harsh truths about money, it's time to take action. Which of these truths were you guilty of ignoring before watching this? Let me know in the comments. I read every response. And remember, none of this works unless you apply it. So starting today, make at least one small change in how you manage your money. Even small steps can lead to big results over time. If you're ready to start building wealth but don't know where to begin, check out my video on the power of compounding, how to turn $10 into $1,000. It's packed with simple, actionable steps to help you grow your money faster. If you found this video helpful, hit that like button. It really helps more people discover this content. And if you're serious about mastering your finances, subscribe to the channel so you don't miss my next video. I'll see you there.